ICSR, which means Individual Case Safety Report. I hope you can understand with the heading what is ICSR. Individual Case Safety Report means every event, every adverse event is assessed as a case, and if needed, it is submitted in an expedited manner or in a periodic manner. So this is called as ICSR, case processing. This is what we do day to day in the PV department. Okay. Now let's get into the triage workflow, what we basically do in the triage workflow. Okay. I hope you understood the case reception, right? How we receive the case. Okay. Once we receive the case, so you are a pharmacovigilance personnel, and you are given a mailbox or an inbox, which is for your project, okay, for a drug, okay, and you see there is an email popping into your inbox that is called as general PV inbox, and it has an SAE form. Okay, you click the email, open the attachment, and see the report. It's an adverse event which is reported from a clinical trial. The principal investigator has reported to the PV department that this patient had experienced so and so side effects. We don't call it as side effects, it's a layman term. We use the term adverse event. Okay. So once a patient has experienced an adverse event, and all those details will be given because it's a principal investigator who is a physician. He will give all the details like age of the patient, date of birth, and and then what is the adverse event? Is the adverse event serious or not? What is the suspect drug he has taken? What is the dosage? And what is the outcome? What is the status of the adverse event? Is it recovered or resolved, or it is resolving? And then finally, he will also provide the causality. Causality means is the drug related or not related to the particular adverse event. Okay? All these details will be given. So as a triager, so the person who does triage is called as a triager. Okay. As a triager, what you will do is you have to open the adverse event form, and you have to assess. Basically, the first thing we assess in triage is basically we assess, is the case valid or non-valid? Okay. So this we call it as validity assessment. Validity assessment means valid or non-valid, which means if a case should have basic 4 criteria. Okay. The first criteria is it should have an identifiable reporter. Second one is identifiable patient. A suspect company, the patient should have taken your company suspect product, and the patient should have experienced an adverse event. It can be a serious adverse event or a non-serious adverse event. Okay. So if a case report has all these 4 criteria, then it is called as a valid case report. Okay. If any of the 4 criteria are missing, like there is no valid reporter, there is no identifiable patient, or not taken a suspect drug, or there is no adverse event, then we classify that as a non-valid case. Okay? Why basically we need to classify it's a valid or non-valid is because we are not going to report non-valid to health authority. Okay. We will not report even in a periodic manner or in an expedited manner. So non-valid case will not go for reporting. So basically we need to classify whether it is valid or non-valid. So if as a triager, you found that this case is non-valid, there is an SAE form. Okay. The reporter is principal investigator. The principal investigator has given his details, but you could not find an identifiable patient. Okay. In that case, what you do is you have to send the case to follow-up team so that they can do follow-up, which means they will send an email back to the principal investigator, to the reporter, asking him, please give the details of the patient. Please at least give any one of the valid identifiable criteria for patient. It can be date of birth, name or initials of the patients, like that. Okay, or the age of the patient, or the age group of the patient, anything, please give us to process this as a valid case. Okay. So basically as a triager, first you have to assess the validity of the case, and based on which you have to classify the case into valid or non-valid. And if it is a non-valid, you have to send it to follow-up team so that they follow up and get the validity. Okay. Now you have classified it as valid case. Okay. So before going into that, whatever I have spoken, like the validity criteria, unidentifiable report or unidentifiable patient, suspect